The female reproductive system includes the ovaries, oviducts, uterus, cervix, vagina, and the external genitalia located in the pelvic region. Along with a pair of mammary glands, it supports the process of ovulation, fertilization, pregnancy, childbirth, and childcare. Let us study each organ in detail. The female reproductive system includes a pair of ovaries located one on each side of the lower abdomen. They are the primary sex organs as they produce the ovum or the female gamete. Each ovary is about 2 to 4 centimeters in length. They are connected to the pelvic wall and the uterus by ligaments called mesovarium. Each ovary is covered by an outer thin layer called the germinal epithelium. The germinal epithelium encloses the ovarian stroma, which is further divided into the outer cortex and the inner medulla. The cortex consists of many ovarian follicles in different stages of development. The ovarian follicle is the basic unit of the female reproductive system and is composed of roughly spherical aggregations of cells found in the ovary. The accessory ducts of the female reproductive system are the vagina, oviducts, and the uterus. The pair of oviducts or fallopian tubes is about 10 to 12 centimeters long and extends from the periphery of each ovary to the uterus. Each oviduct is differentiated into 3 parts, namely the infundibulum, ampulla, and isthmus. The infundibulum is a dilated funnel close to the ovary, and its edges are surrounded by finger-like projections called the fimbriae. They help collect and push the ovum into the oviduct after ovulation. The ampulla is the swollen and curved part behind the infundibulum. The fertilization of the ovum takes place in this part. The isthmus is a narrow and straight cavity, and it joins the uterus. The uterus is a hollow, pear-shaped muscular organ and is highly distensible. It is situated in the pelvic cavity between the urinary bladder and the rectum. It is also known as the womb. It is supported by ligaments attached to the pelvic wall known as mesometrium. The uterus opens into the vagina through a narrow cervix. The cavity of the cervix is called the cervical canal, which, along with the vagina, forms the birth canal. The wall of the uterus is composed of 3 layers of tissues. The outer thin membranous layer is called the perimetrium. The middle thick layer of smooth muscle is called the myometrium, and it helps during delivery by producing strong contraction motions. The inner glandular layer is called the endometrium, and it undergoes cyclical changes during the menstrual cycle. The vagina is a muscular tube starting from the lower end of the uterus up to the outside.
Let us just imagine that one of the ovaries has released an egg cell. It goes straight to the fallopian tube and then moves further. Now, if this egg gets fertilized, then the fetus will need a proper location for placental attachment, right? For this, a proper thick cushion layer made up of cells needs to be formed inside the uterus. We know that this layer is called the endometrium. But how will the reproductive tract know whether fertilization is going to occur or not? How will it form the endometrium all of a sudden if fertilization occurs? the natural tendency of our body is to be prepared for every possibility. So in this case too, our body makes the necessary preparations. When the ovum is released from either of the ovaries, many hormones work in coordination to get the endometrial layer ready. In case fertilization occurs, the fetus will have a proper location for placental attachment. Wait a second. We said if fertilization occurs. What if it doesn't? In that case, the ovum will come out of the body through the vagina. And what will happen to the endometrium? Astonishingly, the layer also collapses and gets out of the body through the vagina. As a result of this, for almost 4 to 5 days every month, a female experiences a bleeding phase. The bleeding is through the vagina and it contains the unfertilized ovum, the cells of endometrium and the blood, of course. This is called as the menstrual fluid. And the process is referred to as menstruation. Did you notice I mentioned that the bleeding phase is for 4 to 5 days every month? Why did I say every month? That is because the entire process occurs in a cyclic manner that lasts for 28 to 30 days. The ovulation and building up of the endometrium, and then followed by this will be collapsing of endometrium in case fertilization does not occur. This will give rise to the discharge of the menstrual fluid through the vagina. Don't you think this entire cycle will also have a scientific name? Of course, it's called the menstrual cycle. So the menstrual cycle is almost a 28 to 30 day cycle, out of which the bleeding phase lasts for 4 to 5 days. In a nutshell, the reproductive ability is obtained by individuals with the onset of puberty. In males, it lasts till they're alive. However, in females, the reproductive phase is marked by the menarche and concluded by the menopause. The time period in between is where the body undergoes the menstrual cycle. The reproductive capacity of females is only found during this phase. So we have talked about the process that happens when fertilization